I can't say that kind of thing on stream. In Minecraft! I should be allowed to inflict heavy block string pressure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the Microsoft employees contributing to the gradual erosion of consent in the digital age. Seriously though, dude, like, what the fuck? Why is that a thing I have to deal with? Why is that a thing where you're... That really should be illegal. There should be a specific law just for Microsoft, known as the fuck-off law, to not have the entire computer freeze operation to try and get me to install an update. Cockbag behavior. That happens when you update to Windows 11. I'm not on Windows 11. It's just trying to install a security update, and I just haven't restarted my computer in a bit, so it thinks it has permission to interrupt what I'm doing to whinge at me. It's weird how it's got, like, multiple forms of whinging. Because there's usually, like, a tiny alert box that appears in the corner. That's also pretty distracting, but it doesn't, like, full screen display itself and disable all input until you click off the window. No! Double lunge, damn it. I, like, got the... That's disappointing. The thing that I'm worried about with regards to Windows 11...
Disagree.
I'll get to it in a moment.
Oh yeah. Sleepy Zombie Runaway, the classic zombie game, 6 in head, 6 in head.
Classic Sleepy Zombles. Phantom Archangel, thank you for the 41 months. That's a lot of months. Anyway, the problem I'm worried about with Windows 11 is that apparently Silent Hill 2 in specific doesn't like it. He wasn't sleepy, I didn't buy it. There have been conflicting reports about running, like, vanilla Silent Hill 2 on Windows 11, which is that apparently you just can't.
I disagree.
Hope you all have a nice Tuesday.
Neath! Thank you for the 7 months of Prime gaming. There's some reports that Silent Hill 2, like, various aspects of it just don't work right. Ow. So I'm gun-shy that if I upgrade to Windows 11, I might just lose access to that as a speed game, which I, don't... You know, I'd rather not. He wasn't sleepy. It was just being picky. So I currently... Does Enhanced Edition still work on Windows 11? I don't know is the thing. I know I think it might now, but initially it was kind of rocky, because none of the development staff had a Windows 11 machine. And moreover, I don't really want to run on the Enhanced Edition. Not permanently. I've thought about it. But I'm kind of holding out for the update that allows you to just fix the RNG in play, because the problem with running Enhanced Edition right now, at least for me, is that RNG manip is, like, way more annoying on Enhanced. It's possible, but the setup is pickier, and it kind of feels like a waste of time to learn when the plan is for the staff to just implement, like, a formal speedrun mode that can lock the RNG in place. Yeah, I don't have to learn nothing. You can just do that. That's not where the door is. Yeah, when that update drops for Enhanced Edition, I may revisit Silent Hill 2, just because, you know? Enhanced Edition is faster than the vanilla game, which was the point of contention for adding it to the vanilla leaderboards in the first place. But now it's a separate leaderboard, and it's like, okay, that's good enough. Although I will say, not to cast aspersions, but absolutely to cast aspersions, because I'm bitter and annoyed. It sure is funny that the Enhanced Edition leaderboards didn't have the great turnout that was predicted. By that, like, I'm not surprised by this. So, like, some people do use it. Like, some people run Enhanced Edition. It's not, like, completely dead. It wasn't a complete failure to add it, but the number of people who complained about it not being an option on the leaderboards versus the number of people who actually now use it, now that there's a leaderboard page for it, quite different. I'm just like, yeah, figures. Hey Narukami, Death Mask and Serum part of Mansion 1? Yeah. We are in the early game. Outrageous. See, the thing is, I kept telling people over and over again, like, do a run on Enhanced Edition and we'll go from there. And it took, like, 3 years before anyone actually took me up on that. No double lunch? I got stuck! I'm frankly incredibly surprised the game let me get away with that. That was a mercy. Remember Microsoft said Windows 10 would be the last Windows? Remember when they said that and then tried to convince everyone they didn't actually say that? Ding. Ah, I'm bad. Yeah, the looming specter of operating system as a service is terrifying. It's like, we really can't let that happen. Like, we can't let that happen. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not gonna be a Linux user, man. It's not gonna happen. And Mac is, like, not even in the conversation. Join us, Punchy. I can't use Linux. Games don't work on it. Unfortunately, I play video games, and the vast majority of things that I play don't run on... Silent Hill 2 does not run on Linux! Unless there is a dramatic sea change in, like, application compatibility for Linux, it's just not happening. There's still way, way too many things I like playing that don't work on the, like, on the system. And, like, this is a problem that's unique to me, because I play a bunch of stupid nerd shit. It's fundamentally, it's the same problem with emulators, and why I tend to buy PS2 games rather than just emulating them, because PS2 emulation, it's better than, like, you know, it's generally pretty workable, but it's not perfect by any means, and you will run into problems not infrequently, and that's kind of more of a hassle than just getting the software, you know? It's not an emulator, because that's what mine's down. True. It's not. Pick up the rounds. The thrust is that the difficulties related to playing the games on the OS is similar. Which is that, sure, a lot of stuff works okay, but there's a lot of stuff that don't. Watch my MGS video, good stuff, Punchy. Thank you very much, Robin. Glad you liked it. Especially because, I mean, it was, you know, opinions or two on that, in that there video. Has been doing extremely well for itself, like, as a video, though. I know, like, it might be kind of bad to view it through this lens, but that's content creator brain for you. But, like, that video got a ton of views really fast, and that's, as far as I care, that is a success. As far as the metrics are concerned, that video is a roaring success for me. Why you gotta fall over like that? Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta, like, be weird? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have tried to stand behind the guy. Yeah, that is how YouTube works. It was a more controversial topic. I kind of knew what I was getting into, but, like, wow, it really is easy to see why that kind of thing does so well on the... It's like... I'll say this. Having a controversial opinion is way more fun on YouTube than it is on Twitter. On Twitter, thousands of random strangers will scream at you for 48 hours, and no one's having a good time. On YouTube, thousands of strangers will scream at you in the comment section, but also, you make a lot of fucking money. Way more rewarding. Way more fun to do on YouTube. Like, it's kind of, it feels like a dark thing to acknowledge that, you know? It's like, that's bad, surely. Like, that's a bad thing to, like, to be like, oh, well, I see. Like, I get it now. I understand why there are channels that basically base their entire, like, brand around rage baiting. Outrage merchanting. It's like, I see. Like, it really, like, it really does work. Ooh, my head! Me after reading the comments. Anyway, I'll say this. The next video that I produce, I haven't really started production on a new video yet. Like, you know, give me a break. I just uploaded, like, not even 48 hours ago. Will not be discoursey, you know, back to usual doing dumb things that I find interesting. I have no plans to become a discourse man. At least, not primarily. You know, I can do a Discord when it suits my interests. But I'm not out here looking for stuff to complain about. That's a very depressing way to live. Your childhood Dreamcast doesn't get past the home screen anymore and you're scared to make the eBay purchase from your horror story. If you're buying a Dreamcast that's of the same region as you, you're in a better place, because the problem is that I was buying Dreamcasts that were Japanese. And the problem with that is that buying Japanese Dreamcasts off primarily non-Japanese people means they don't have Japanese games to test it with. Now, why do these people who don't have any Japanese games have Japanese consoles? I've fucking no idea. We considered rage baiting part of a discussion as having different opinion with the internet culture. If someone said something about this very true, you thought it was refreshing? Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't... It's kind of rage baiting. It's definitely rage baiting in the sense that I knew the topic was going to produce divisive opinions. And that I kind of counted on that. But also, it's not like I picked a controversial topic and then picked the less, you know, like, the less trodden opinion just to piss people off. It's an authentically held viewpoint. Like, I do believe the things I said in that video. For better or worse. But also, it's not totally clean either. It's a weird place. I don't have all the answers. Am I trying to go fast, PB fast, or world record fast? Just PB fast. The world record for this game is 51 minutes. Pessimism's time in this is ridiculous. Sorry, I referenced Digital Foundry in the MGS video before watching. You thought I was going to start beef with them. No, Digital Foundry does good research. They were very harsh on the Metal Gear Solid ports as well, but also that's kind of their job. I can see why you might have thought that, though. Like, the video kind of goes, you know, Digital Foundry did a write-up, blah-de-blah-de-blah, you know, you think I'm, like, about to, like, start shit, but no, the Digital Foundry was, like, pretty even. They were perhaps a bit, like, overly optimistic about the future in their write-up, but their comments are mostly even-handed. You know, they were not dishonest. For the most part, Digital Foundry is like a very reliable source for stuff about game performance and technical details and blah-de-blah-de-blah. I did actually look at their coverage of the Master Collection in specific. It had a bunch of stuff I didn't really want to get into in the video because it was sort of a bit too much in the weeds. Since I think I made it pretty clear in the video that the port, you know, especially Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, they're not great. Ah! I have never seen that animation before. That's novel. One thing I didn't notice about the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection because I played it on PC is the fact that apparently, in Metal Gear Solid 3 in specific, textures are really weirdly blurry on Series X, I think, in particular. Or is it PS5? There's one specific console where for Master Collection Metal Gear Solid 3, the textures are like weirdly shit. And it's just that one console version. I was like, I didn't touch on that because I didn't know.
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
That's very weird. There's just one specific console where Metal Gear Solid 3 looks like ass. Pretty fast as well, mods came out for Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 that let you patch the game's internal rendering resolutions to higher values, and here's the thing, you know the comment I said about how emulators have functionality that, like, you can upscale the games and make them run in widescreen, but it's a bit buggy? And people tend to be more forgiving of that in emulation than they are on commercial releases. The mod thing also applies, but it mostly works okay. This is me exhibiting that same tendency. It's like, well, for a mod, it mostly works fine now that they fixed the issue where the HUD doesn't scale properly. But there's a couple of visual effects in Metal Gear Solid 3 in particular that look really, really wrong at higher resolutions. And upscaling the game using that mod makes them look even worse. And it's like, well, that's just the price you pay, I suppose. But, like, I guarantee you if Konami had included the option to bump the internal resolution to 4K, but have those visual effects look like garbage, people would have gone ballistic. Do it in the form of a mod, and suddenly it's okay. You see the problem. Why are you a sleepy guy? Although I will say the mod is definitely better than nothing. Because, like, the lack of even 1080p on PC is a bit, like, seriously? Come on, man. 1080p wouldn't make that large of a difference. We could have done that much. We could have managed that. This was within the realm of possibility. Master Collection 2 has to deliver. I wouldn't hold my breath for a better release, especially because we're dealing... Well, maybe, because that Master Collection is going to have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it, and as long as that basically works okay, that's a massive improvement. Because Metal Gear 4 runs like crap on PS3. It runs like fucking hot shit. That game runs like dingleberry. So if the PC version runs at even 30 fixed, it would be a massive improvement. And boy, isn't that sad. Ah! Why you gotta do that? I didn't do that right. I take it back, actually. I'm great. There are no problems here. I in no way trusted my positioning on that. That looked wrong, but apparently I'm fine. That's probably the game that needs a re-release the most. I agree, and I think you're getting one. I'm relatively confident in this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the Master Collection Volume 2. This was leaked. But in a sort of, like, kind of way, where it's like, you know, is it really? How reliable is that? I mean, it was leaked from a primary source, but maybe they're gauging the reaction to the first Master Collection to see whether or not they actually go ahead with the project. And I kind of imagine that it probably sold fine. Like, the negative reaction is one thing, but, like, Konami doesn't give a shit, clearly. No! You bit me in the bum! They bit me in the bum! Oh, I am poisoned! No! This guy's gonna bite me in the bum. Oh, he bites me in the bum! Everyone bites Jill in the bum. Am I poisoned or dying? Both. Cool. So that didn't go so well for me. It's way more reliable to do that. Like, it's not as fast, but it works every time. As opposed to engaging with, like, the 5-man hunter pileup that can happen on the stairs. You have no faith in Silent Hill 2 now? I have the same amount of faith I did as when the project started, honestly. Which is low. But also, somehow, I'm sort of a bit, like, over it at this point. Like, it's become... It was trendy to shit on Bloober when it was, like, announced, because, you know, I can't even disagree. Like, it's sort of... Their output's kind of crap. I don't know what to tell you, man. Not the studio I would have trusted with it. I'm not out here... I can't bring myself to, like, be a Bloober defender. It's like, I'm not that contrarian. I'm like a little contrarian. Oh, I hate this camera angle. I'm a little contrarian, but I'm not that contrarian, you know? Can't bring myself to, like... But at the same time, it's like, it's getting a bit old. People, like, Bloober felt the need to put out, like, a dumb press release statement to be like, you know, we're still working on it, like an object permanence update. And they're like, you know, it still exists, guys. Because people keep, like, bugging them on Twitter, like, every time they post an update about anything that isn't Silent Hill 2. And, like, it's getting a bit silly. Are they both sleepy? They're both sleepy! Their response, ask Konami. I think they worded it in about the worst possible way they could have. Like, just don't reply, guys. Just don't do it. Fuck. Really? I didn't hug the wall enough. That's not random. That's consistent. I just didn't hug the wall hard enough. Damn it. Unnecessary miss. News about other remakes getting cancelled made people worry. Perhaps, but I don't know. That's a... Fuck. I hate this camera angle. Oh, well, this is fun. Lucky. See ya.
I disagree.
Eros, thank you for the 31 months. Like, is it kinda weird that it's been 13 months? Jill, where are you aiming? Is it kinda weird that it's been 13 months since initial trailer reveal of Silent Hill 2 Remake and we've seen nothing of it? A little bit, but on the other hand, I don't know, I wouldn't show anything that's non-final either. Setting a promised release date when you're not sure you can do it is always a bad move. Exactly. And they haven't promised a release date. They've said the game exists. That's it. For all we know, it was announced at a very early stage in development. It's basically, I'm saying it's not that weird that you can just have a game be announced and then not hear anything for like a year, you know? Like, yes, I also wish that that wasn't a thing, because it's kind of annoying. But it's not, strictly speaking, unusual. My thoughts about Silent Hill F? We have had nothing. We have had nothing. There is... I don't have any opinion because they haven't shown anything. Like, wake me when there's a video game to talk about. That guy is gonna grab me! Reach out and grab you. Is Beyond Good and Evil 2 a myth now? I think that has actually been... Like, that probably is just going to die in production. Ubisoft doesn't seem to be able to put map. Ubisoft doesn't seem to be able to put together, like, a complete video game anymore these days. Oh, they keep firing all their employees? True. The fact police have determined this to be facts. Sands of Time Remake is also a myth. They did actually just post an update saying it had crossed an internal development milestone. I think that one's still alive. Okay, on the way back out, I've got that dodge down. It's on the way in I keep beefing it. The internal development milestone is cancelling the game. So harsh. So harsh, guys. You are so mean to Ubisoft! They are nothing but they are soft. Ubi! Can you really be so doubtful of such soft developers? Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It is kind of weird. The Sands of Time remake is clearly having problems. Like, something's going wrong there. Something's going wrong there, but we're not really sure what. And we likely never will. What the fuck? I'm trying to open the door, asshole! That's nice. See you later. I will say, practicing the emblem key puzzle definitely paid off. It's a really stupid thing to have to practice, but it was totally worth it. Ubisoft is a tiny indie team, like Nintendo, of course. Dude, speaking of the definition of indie games, I love, but actually passionately hate, that Jeff Keighley continues to be just a walking pop-up ad with his recent state, you know, because people have been widely complaining about the fact that Dave the Diver was nominated for Best Indie Game at the Game Awards, when Dave the Diver is made by a subsidiary of fucking Nexon Korea. Which, if you don't know what Nexon Korea is, yes, you do. They are perhaps the largest game developer in the country. And Dave the Diver's own developers are like, it's not an indie game. Like, we work under Nexon, dude. Korea, a small indie country. Can't just say that. Oh, that's funny. And Jeff Keighley's response to this criticism was just, indie means different things to a lot of different people, and it's like, he has no thoughts inside his brain. Jeff hasn't thought about anything since, like, 2006. It's fucking awesome. That man is so empty. There's nothing going on in his brain. I love that his responses are just, like, so, like, empty. You know? Like, there's nothing going on upstairs. He hasn't had a thought. I'm not convinced he's a real person. I think he might be AI generated. You're pompous if you don't get one and cares about the Game Awards is a serious thing. No, I don't either. I do not watch them because I hate the show. I find it insufferable. The Jeff Keighley, like, show conference format is the worst. He's a terrible presenter. I want him to leave. Like, I don't, like, I think I do care very much about the Game Awards, but in the sense that I find them unbelievably vapid and irritating. Like, I have more hatred in my heart for that man and his shitty fucking award shows than I do for people who probably actually deserve it. Dude is a tremendous fucking loser who has, like, yes-manned his way into collectively ruining every presser in existence. It's so boring and so frustrating. I want him to fuck off. I feel strongly about this topic, but I never actually watch the shows because I hate them. I hate them a lot. But regardless, I have been abreast of the discourse surrounding the fact that people are, you know, critical of the inclusion of very clearly not an indie game in the indie category. Funny enough, the Game Awards has actually always had two indie categories. They have Best Independent Game, which isn't actually an independent game. It's... There's Best Independent Game, which is basically anything without a $70 price tag, and Games for Impact, and that's the actual independent game category. Games for Impact is the indie game category, but for the indies that didn't have the budget to get into the other one. Although Games for Impact is also, like, a really frustrating name for it, because it precludes any indie games that are just, you know, good. Since Games for Impact is supposedly, you know, games that have a socially progressive message, which, like, believe it or not, is actually pretty broad. Because pretty much any indie game with a story usually qualifies. But it does preclude anything that's, like, maybe not progressive, but provocative, you know? Makes you think. I guess... See, I was thinking about Thirsty Suitors, but I guess that actually is fairly socially progressive. It is actually, in fact, in large part, about social progress. Thing is, though, I wouldn't say it goes about it in a very wholesome way. You know, it's very pointed, it's very vicious. Point is that, like, Games for Impact kind of has this image, I think, of as, like, the comfy game categories. Like, this is where, you know, the nice lighthearted, this game makes you feel good. Thirsty Suitors will not make you feel good. You will feel like shit. You will feel bad. You will feel bad about yourself, you will feel bad about everyone around you, you will just feel bad. And that's why it's fucking awesome. You have to wait for it to go down a bit. Games from category has Volcano High. What is the message of Volcano High? I haven't stuck that game out to find out. Because I wasn't particularly impressed by the demo, frankly. Reminds me of the Yarudora games, but, like, with clearly not enough budget to pull that off. Now that's probably a cut far too deep. Quick, think of a different point of... It reminds me of Steins Gate Elite, but without the budget to pull that off. There we go, found it. I mean, good effort, I suppose.
I disagree.
Cheers to a year of this bullshit.
Woohoo! Robin, thank you for the 12 months. Now, I think this is a case of particularly poor timing, but it is very funny that Best Community Support, Destiny 2 was nominated right around the time they laid off their community manager in a very public and poorly received fashion. Did not. Yeah, so like the Destiny 2 players were pissed about their game. Like the people who play Destiny 2 were pissed about their game getting nominated because they were all like, "No, you fucked us. Like we liked them and you sacked them, bitches, all of you." So like they weren't happy about it. No, nobody hates Destiny 2 more than Destiny 2 players, obviously. This is a truism. But like, I found it really funny that like Destiny 2 players were out there debating that their own game did not deserve to have best community support because of a massive amount of layoffs at Bungie. Which, you know what? I think they have a point, but it's really funny to watch that play out. Lisa, don't do me a disservice. Scary. Scary. Speaking of game modes, have I played Alan Wake 2? I have not, and I probably won't. I think the window has passed on it. There was a time where I was interested. That moment has kind of passed like a fart. As more about the game has like come to light, I'm increasingly convinced I wouldn't like it. So I'm just gonna like not. I'll take a mulligan on that one. Alan Wake 2 is way better than the first. I can believe that. Is this guy seriously sleeping? Like now? He's sleeping on the job? At this critical juncture? In my speedrun? Jesus. Why did you not have head explodey? Why you gotta be on floor instead, where you can stand back up and fuck me over? Why you gotta do that? Huh? Computer Gilliam. Log on to computer! The main thing I've heard about Alan Wake 2 that puts me off tremendously is that I hear the combat is just shit. I've heard the combat in that game is kinda bad. It's like, oh, well. Don't need that in my life. A zombie comes back as a crimson when I have the nitro, I'm gonna laugh. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry little baby tears. And then won't you feel bad for me? This man is always crying. There's a lot to be upset about. Whew. I went a bit early. That was a bit scary. Both of them. Don't be getting stuck on things now. Now is not the time for this. Yish. You love Remake so much you just realized I have my cam off? Yeah, I've had it off the whole stream. I was really, like, sleepy when I started. I felt better as the stream has gone on, but I felt sleepy and a bit under the weather. And I was just like, eh. I don't feel my prettiest, you know? So I started the stream with the camera off, but honestly, I felt like better as the stream has gone on. Maybe it's the monster working its way through my system. It probably is. I always forget you can't hold the... For some reason, that is the one door in the entire game you cannot just hold X in front of to go through. It doesn't work. Most doors in the game, if you hold the action button when you get near them, Jill will open the door automatically. It's great. It's fantastic that that works. Saves me so much mashing. But for that one door, exiting the Tyrant Room, doesn't work. Just that one. It's the only one. Why did you turn around? Bro was trying to troll. He was trying. He had it out for me. Love that lets you input buffer doors. Me too. It's really nice that you can, because that's usually a point of consternation with these runs, is that you gotta mash. This is looking like another PB. Which is just as well. Oh yeah. ...54 gaming. still gotta mash stairs. You can bind run to the analog stick and then you can just rotate the stick. Which, I mean, you still gotta, like, do the Mario Party Mambo for it. But it's not that harsh on your hands. 54-36. Nice. That's pretty good.
You did a fine job.
That's closer to the time I was. Like, my PB before the new door skip mod was 56-11. So, and the new door skip mod